The Conjuring is considered one of the greatest horror movies of all time, even being compared to movies such as The Exorcist. Now, does it hold the test of time? Find out today on the first ever episode of the Sleepover Movie Podcast hosted by Brian and Pollo. Hello everybody, welcome to the first official episode of the Sleepover Movie Pod. And this is hosted by Brian, your host, me. And I have with me my co-host, Pollo.
Hey guys.
And this week, for the very first week of the Sleepover Movie Club podcast, we decided to watch, since it's Halloween, since it's October, spooky time, we watched the first Conjuring movie. Now, Pollo, what was the story of the movie?
So basically, this family, they have a lot of girls in the family. No
5 of them,
boys.
dude.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the
that's
dad, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So this big family moves into a new home because the dad found a new job, and the house is haunted.
Ooh. So spooky.
Yes, a mother killed her children so she can get a higher ranking in hell, essentially.
Yep.
And now she haunts the house and she curses anybody who lives there.
Yep.
So they reach out to some ghost hunters to help them out.
And is it happily ever after?
They do.
So yeah, so that's the basic story. Now, I'm gonna explain this movie more in depth here. So the movie came out July 19th, 2013, which to me, that was kind of surprising. I swear it came out way longer ago. Did you watch this in theaters?
I did not. I wasn't really like a movie guy back then, just because I didn't have like anyone to go with, you know?
I didn't go watch it because it's rated R, which we'll get into later about why it was rated R. Because, like, looking at it, it wasn't that much of a rated R movie. Nothing really crazy happens in it. Except some guy's face gets bit off, which is kind of crazy, but he played it off.
That's why they did it rated R?
No, that's not why, but I thought that was
okay.
kind of like, this happens at the end of the movie, spoilers, but the cop's face gets bitten off, and like, he doesn't care about it. Did you see that part?
Yeah, but it wasn't like crazy, you know? It wasn't
but like,
that,
I feel like
crazy.
he should have kept bleeding. He just kept like wandering like nothing. Anyways, I digress. Okay, so the movie came out July 19th, 2013, directed by James Wan. Now, obviously, Boyle here knows not a lot about movies, and I know a lot about movies. So director James Wan, he was the guy who created the first Saw. He created Insidious. He made Malignant, but then also he directed Aquaman and Furious 7. So it's like he does a bunch of horror movies, but then he did those 2 random movies, which is weird, but who knows? But what movies? I feel like he has a movie coming out, but oh well, I didn't check that. So this movie had a budget of $20 million, which is pretty cheap. And when to make profit, a movie basically has to double its budget and then some, because it's like their budget and then they spend that same amount on marketing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like really, they said their budget was 20 million, but it's 40 million. So its opening weekend here in the United States, it made $41 million. So it made its money back first weekend.
Damn.
So very good success. And then so the total it made in the US was 137 million, overseas 182 million. So it made 319 million. So very profitable movie. Which is why it started the franchise of like The Nun, Conjuring 2, Annabelle, and all that. And La Llorona, all those movies, which I'm pretty sure are also profitable, but I don't know.
I didn't know La Llorona was part of it.
It's in the Conjuring verse, because I think there's like one character that's like carried over or like mentioned, but it's pretty
Is
like
it
by
the old
itself.
Lady?
It might be, I don't fucking know, but I
She's
swear I was
in
watching
every
it and I was
movie.
like, the curse. I hated how the nun. Oh, what? Why was Annabelle in this movie?
Oh, in this one?
Yeah, you get me? Like, they just kind of like, obviously to set up another movie, but like, what was the point? Because like the movie opens with Annabelle.
You know,
and then it's just,
that I thought the movie was gonna be about Annabelle.
oh, it kind of like teases you. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, look at the story of Annabelle, and then it just like cuts, and it's like, oh, look at this random family. I thought that was one of my notes I have written down. How the Annabelle opening was not necessary.
I guess they were just setting us up for Lorraine and Yeah, I forgot.
To learn who Ed and Lorraine Warren were.
Yeah,
which we'll get into who they really were in real life. So the hype around this movie when it was being released, it was quote unquote one of the scariest movies ever since The Exorcist. And part of the hype was because it was based on a true story. And then like leading up to it, the actual family that was in the movie would be in trailers and shit like that. So people were hyped for this movie. And so the true story, it stays pretty accurate to the true story until like the end. Like the ending of the movie and the ending of the real story are kind of different. So do you remember what the ending of the movie was? You want to explain it?
Like the climax, like when they're doing the exorcism.
Yeah, basically.
Towards the end, she starts floating in the chair.
She does start floating.
She starts spinning.
Okay, funny part about that was real. Apparently, according to one of the daughters who gave an interview, they were like, that was real. That actually happened. So that part was real. Apparently.
Okay, but I thought that was the part that was not real.
No, apparently that was real.
Wait, was she actually spinning?
Spinning? They didn't tell about that, but
okay.
Do you really?
No, I think I got the spinning part from Scary Movie.
Oh, that probably is it, because I don't remember her spinning. I remember her getting launched around the room and then floating off the chair. Yeah, or floating with the chair. Okay, so anyways, the true story that happened in real life, it was pretty much the same. It was the Perron family. They bought a new house, and at first they started noticing small things, like there was a broom missing, there was scraping sounds, like the floor would get dirty when no one would go there. And so then Caroline, which is the mother, she decided to research the house, and she was like, what's up with this house? And it turned out that the same family had it for 8 generations before this. So it was like just passed down, and then they bought it. But also, as she was researching, she found out there was hella mysterious deaths that happened in the house over the 8 generations. Like people drowned, there was murders, there's hella multiple hangings in the attic. And so in the movie, the ghost is with Sheba. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but that's her. And that's the actual real spirit that they quote unquote fucking saw in real life. And it matched up with like the records of Bathsheba and everything. And it turned out in real life, she was a rumored witch, but that's pretty much it. And like she never killed anybody. Like it was never confirmed that she killed anybody. So she was just a rumored witch. And then there's other spirits that the movie didn't really touch on. Apparently it was like infested with spirits, that house. And then, so as I mentioned before, the possession where she started floating and all that was real. But they did not, Ed Warren and Lorraine, they did not do the exorcism. It was some priests. And then the exorcism, quote unquote, didn't work. And so the Perrons got mad with the Warrens, so they cut them off. So nothing like the movie. And then the spirits just ended up fading away. Like nothing happened. Which is kind of...
didn't live happy ever after.
In the movie, no, the Warrens didn't succeed and they faded away. So that's that. And now... So yeah, in the movie, everything worked out, but who was the cop? Like, there's things in the climax that didn't make sense to me. Like the little girl running away.
You know, the thing that about her running away, what I like, how do I say it? Basically, I just thought that the little kid Roy basically leaded her somewhere else, you know? Like she was just following Roy around and she got lost under the house.
Okay.
That's the only explanation
like, how
that I
did
have.
she end up in the house? And like, why did she run away when like her mom's getting possessed? They're like, let's get out of here, and she fucking ran away. I thought that was very dumb of the daughter. And then the fucking like the Asian guy, when he started stabbing the ground, I was like, he's gonna kill the daughter. He's gonna kill her. Yeah, so I thought that was dumb. But so in real life, let's touch on the Warrens. So in the Warrens, you want to describe who they were in the movie?
The Warrens were famous paranormal activity ghost hunters. And they would go around telling their stories and like their different cases that they have and teaching people about their stuff.
So one thing I really liked about the movie about the Warrens was when they showed them going to like one of their cases, and it was like in an attic, and then they were like, oh, that's the noise that we've been hearing. And then Ed was like, yeah, that's just like the pipes creaking because like the temperature outside. Do you remember that part? Or did you
Yeah.
zone that out? I thought that was like really like, I was like, wow, you know, they're showing that it's not, it's just, they don't lie. Like they're just not like saying shit out their ass to get money. Like they're actually, like if it's a rational explanation, they're gonna tell us. Which, real life, allegedly, they were con artists. And also, allegedly, Ed was a pedophile. He, this is all alleged, but very fact based. This is kind of crazy. So allegedly, Ed Warren had an affair with the minor, which Lorraine was well aware of. And so the affair started when she was 15 years old, and she ended up living with the Warrens for 50 years or 40 years. So
so the wife was so Lorraine was okay with it.
Yeah, because it said, the article that I read said that the minor lived with Warrens for 40 years as Ed's lover. So
That's
she
crazy.
was fine with it. But Lorraine, because Ed passed away before this movie was made, so Lorraine told the movie execs that the only way they could make the movie is they don't touch on any of that.
I mean, yeah, you know, it ruined the movie.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It make it weird.
I don't know when this information came out, so I don't know if it just came out recently, because I didn't check that, so I don't know if it affected the sequels or anything like that, but as far as I can tell, the movies are still profitable and all that, so who cares?
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, that's pretty much like the controversies around the film was all that, about how like the story got changed up a little, but other than that, the film was okay. So what did you actually think about the movie?
It kept me, I zone out in movies, you know? Sometimes they don't keep me interesting, but this movie throughout the whole thing, it kept me like, you know, my full attention on it. It is actually pretty entertaining.
I'll say the pacing was pretty good, because I feel like at one point, like halfway through the movie, it'd be like ghost encounter, nothing, ghost encounter, nothing, like when they were moving into the house. And then I feel like just as I was about to be like, okay, this is dumb, that's when they introduced like the Warrens into it, and then they started setting up the photography and like all that, which was kind of advanced for the time, TBH. I was kind of shocked that they had all that technology.
Oh, the cameras
like
the black
automatic cameras, yeah, all that. I was like, wow, they really like. Was this true? See, I was surprised.
For a second, I thought that the automatic cameras are like a string attached to the floor, and when they walk past it,
too. But then it turned out like a thermometer thing that didn't make sense to me, because I was like, what if it's just like, how many degrees does it have to drop? And then like, where are those pictures in real life? I don't know. I thought it was a bit weird. I really liked though the atmosphere in the movie. Like it was just creepy all around. I didn't like those
big houses.
And I like the tree out front too. That added a lot. I didn't like when it just randomly included Ed and Lorraine's daughter though. Like when she started like seeing a rocking chair and they got thrown at her.
Oh,
like for no reason.
And they brought back Annabelle.
They brought back Annabelle, exactly. For
they
what?
randomly just brought her back.
Yeah, they were like, it was Annabelle, and then she was like, she's still in the cage. I was like, why'd you do that? And then the movie doesn't the movie end with a close up to Annabelle? Like it ends because like it's like his like, or no,
maybe that is just to set up the next movie, but
because it definitely ended with the music box after he sets it down like the cursed room. Yeah. I thought it zoomed in on Annabelle.
Was there supposed to be something in the reflection?
Like at the end?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything.
I kept looking throughout the whole thing. I was trying to find something, but I couldn't find anything.
I definitely feel I would have gotten jump scared more in this movie if I wasn't watching it like in the morning in my living room.
Oh, you watched it in the morning?
Yeah, because I woke up and I was like, well, I need to watch this for the pod. So let me do that. Because I fell asleep as I was going to watch it, because I was like, I was going to watch it at night, but I was like, I'm going to fall asleep through it. Let me just do it in the morning. But yeah, did you actually get scared by it?
No, I didn't get scared by it, but it was really interesting. But the one thing that I did like think about were like stuff flying in the house, and I would find that so annoying. I wouldn't be like scared if it happened to me. I don't think I'd be scared of stuff, but I'd be so annoyed that shit is flying off my wall and my stuff is falling.
I don't know. It's just so hard to believe that like this is based on a true story, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really believe in ghosts. It's so hard to believe that they were going through this and like no one really cared.
I was thinking the exact same thing. because I'm not like to like go like ghost spirits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So,
but that's like watching it and thinking exactly what you said, like this actually happened supposedly.
Yeah, like supposedly she started floating off the ground. Okay, be so for real. Overall, I think I'd give this movie a solid 7.3 out of 10.
I'd give it a 6 because it was entertaining, but it didn't really give me the scare that I wanted.
That's why I feel like it was a good movie, not a good horror movie. It didn't scare me. It didn't really give that. It didn't give me fear. I was just more invested in the movie. Like, I can tell when it was supposed to be scary, but it wasn't scary. Like when the girl got dragged by the hair, I thought that was funny. You remember that? Where she had to cut her hair? I was like, no way. Like, this did not happen. Like, shit like that. I was like, that did not happen. Be so for real. Okay, moving on. There's some stories from the set, apparently, that happened while filming this movie. So, apparently, during the filming, multiple stars of the film, especially Vera Farmiga, who plays Lorraine Warren in the movie, they said they felt a presence whenever on set. So she would apparently wake up like at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. while filming the movie, and she had like multiple claw marks. And the first claw mark that she said she saw, it was on her computer screen. Like, she was on the computer and then a big claw mark appeared, which actually could have been a virus. I don't know why she got scared. But then apparently, or no, she has apparently video evidence of this, so you can find it online if you look it up. But she got scratched on her leg and it like matched the same scratch that was on her computer screen. But like, that also could have just been marketing and promo for the movie. So that's that. And then apparently Joey King, who played one of the daughters in the movie, she also had multiple random bruises while filming it, despite not doing any of her own stunts. Like, she'd just wake up and have bruises. And then Patrick Wilson, who played Ed, also said like there was no reason to have the bruises where she did, because she didn't do anything. Also, in the artifact room where she had all the cool little artifacts, or they had the cool artifacts, apparently one little wooden pig kept moving throughout the whole like set. But I feel like someone was bored. You know? Like, I feel like they're like, oh, I'm filming a horror movie, let me just move this around the room.
They wanted to make them feel like it's actually happening.
Yeah, and apparently it worked. The set stories got out. So what were your thoughts on the daughters in the movie? Like, the actresses? Like, do you think they were good? Do you think they were convincing?
I think they were convincing.
What were your thoughts on overall acting? Because I think everybody did good except for the police officer. He did not. He seemed like he stuck out like a sore thumb to me.
When he was saying that the maid?
Yeah, when he was anything. When he was in the scene, I couldn't take him serious. He just looked like a fake character. They don't explain him in the movie either. They just say, oh, this is the officer. It's like, why is he there? Who called him? He just pulled up. And the Asian dude, they didn't really explain who he was. Not a lot of explanation.
Do you know who he is?
No, I don't. Do you know who he is?
I think I do. I think the Asian was the one that introduced the mom to Ed and Lorraine.
Oh, like in the college.
Yeah, I think that might be him.
What were your thoughts on like their little exorcism video? Like, if it were real, that they showed like in the college, like where he just started speaking Latin, even though he's never taken Latin.
Oh, that's when I wrote down my second note.
What was it?
They kept saying like, oh yeah, we're not gonna bring Lorraine here because of what happened last time. And I just wrote down what happened to Lorraine during the last job. That's what I wrote down. And then after it, later on in the movie, they explain it, and I just crossed it out.
What was it? It was like she like something about a chunk of her getting too bitten off or some shit like that, huh? Oh, she like freaked out, huh? I remember.
Yeah, because the guy got like close and pulled her in.
Yeah, and she like saw a vision. What are your thoughts on her little magic powers?
Oh, like being able to see like what happened?
Like where she saw the picture and she was like, oh, what a beautiful day at the beach. And the mom was like, how did you know? I thought that was...
I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, it's like... You really gotta
they probably exaggerate. They obviously exaggerate it for the movie. But like, I feel like, well, you know, if fucking psychic powers like that are real, then it wouldn't be like something that crazy, you know? Just like a feeling, 100%. A little hunch.
Did you notice the real Lorraine Warren was in the movie?
No.
when they were at the college, when the mom got there, she was in the crowd. She was like some old lady in the crowd.
And they zoomed it in on her, sort of?
Yeah, She was like at the bottom of the
okay.
screen for a cool while. Did you notice her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the real one.
Dang.
Ed couldn't be there.
Yeah.
So now, let's see. Time for trivia time. I have some trivia for this movie.
Wait.
What?
The first note, remember when I told you wasn't that important?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one, right when they moved into the new house and they showed the little pond.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wrote down. House location near pond, really cool.
Dude. Would you have bought that house?
Cool. Huh?
Would you have bought that house? Like, if you had the chance in real life? What do you think about the house?
Definitely needs a lot of renovating, but
I thought it was weird.
It seems like a nice house.
I thought it was weird how the cellar was locked up, and I thought that would have more significance, but like, it didn't.
Oh, why
it
was locked up?
Yeah, like it was boarded up and it was hidden, so I was like, oh, they're gonna say like the spirit came from down there. But to me, it seemed like the spirit came from the wardrobe.
Did it? Huh? I don't know if it was just what she saw, but wasn't the girl like have the ghost, like the chubbier ghost, have the scissors and like cutting someone up down there, one of her kids?
In what? When?
When Lorraine fell down like from inside of the wall, remember she fell down to the basement?
Yeah.
And she was like, she saw the ghost, and there was one down there that was like killing a kid. I don't know if it's just showing them that, or if that's actually where she killed the kid.
I think that might have been like a flashback. I completely forgot about. I guess they did show that's maybe where with Shizba killed the kid. Dang, so I guess the cellar did have significance. But also, like, who did they? Oh, they said they bought it from an auction. I was gonna say, who did they buy the house from?
Yeah, they bought it from the bank.
I feel like it's illegal to sell a house without saying like there's murders and shit in the house. Like, you shouldn't have to research that on your own.
Yeah, it should be like in the history, Like,
they should just disclose it. Like, hey, there's been some murders in this house. Cause would you want to live in a house that there's been murders?
I mean, it depends.
Depends on the murder.
Like, if it's like somebody killed the whole family, then no. But if it's like one person died, then I wouldn't really care.
Interesting. So, does it matter how they died with just one person? Like, what if they got what if they got shot in the head versus they killed themselves hanging?
That makes it more like eerie, Like, if they shot themselves in the head, I wouldn't really care. But if they hung themselves, that's a lot more scarier.
You think so?
Yeah.
Would you want a ghost hunt in your house?
No, I wouldn't. Oh. I wouldn't like I wouldn't test it. Like, if let's just say it is real, I wouldn't want to provoke the ghost.
You wouldn't want to?
No. Oh, but I wrote down the house is cool near the pond because of fishing. I was like, that's so convenient. You just go to your backyard and just fish a little bit.
I was like, how far is it from like other houses? Like, is it just by itself? And like, how did it have electricity? Who ran the electricity down to that house? Because it looked like it was a cool house, the location of it. It had so much land. The pond had a little dock. It was a big house. It was a nice house. I think it was a very nice house. Okay, so trivia time. So, for that big tree in the front of the house in the movie?
Yeah.
50-foot tree, they built it. It was a fake tree. They had to build it.
Wait, the one that the lady hung herself, or just...
Yeah, like the big black dark tree that's in the poster. They built that tree. Second, so remember how I talked about the film getting a rated R?
Uh-huh.
So normally movies get R ratings because of they show that's too many F words, too many they show nudity, shit like that. Like actually stuff that's kids shouldn't see that shit. For this, they gave them the final cut of the movie and they submitted it to the MPAA who rates the movies, and they were like, oh, this is gonna be like a fucking PG-13 movie, nothing's crazy in it. And then they got it back and it was a rated R movie, and they were like, why is it rated R? Like, what can we take out to make it PG-13 to sell more tickets? And they said it was too scary, and that was it.
How was it?
That was it. They just said it was too scary of a movie, kids should not watch it. Which
does it go from PG-13 to rated R? Or is there one in between?
No, it goes PG-13. Okay. It goes like G, PG, PG-13, rated R, and then adult. Like 18 plus or whatever. Which I think like it's so rare for a movie to get 18. I think it's just like porns. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so when the movie was shown in the Philippines, movie theaters had actual priests in the movie theaters to like bless everyone before watching it. Which that's doing too much.
That's funny.
And then let's see, next one. The film, it broke box office records after doing its 41 million in the first weekend, and it's the third highest grossing for a rated R horror film behind Paranormal Activity and Hannibal, which I haven't seen Hannibal, but I've seen Paranormal Activity, so that makes sense.
I don't know what Hannibal is.
I know what it is. It's like a little like psychological horror movie from 2001, but I just never got my interest. Maybe we'll see it one day.
One day.
But also the way this film was shot, most films are shot like whatever is most convenient. So like maybe they'll shoot the ending of the movie first, and then like the beginning, then the middle, and then part of the beginning again. You know, like whatever fits the schedule. This movie, James Wan decided to film it from the start of the movie to the end of the movie, like scene by scene. So I don't know why he chose to do that, but he did.
You know, I didn't know that.
You didn't know they filmed it like different?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well now
I
you
thought
know.
they just went. I thought they just went like how he filmed it from start to finish.
Like, sometimes they'll only have an actor for like a week, so they'll need to do like every single actor or all the actor scenes in 1 week because they're only free for that week. So shit like that. But so for this movie, all the actors needed to be available at all times just to film it in order. So yeah, that's The Conjuring. Overall, I think it was a solid movie, not a solid horror movie to scare me. Gave it that 7 point. I might make it a 6.9. Just because you brought up a good point that there is no scaring. Yeah, give it a 6.9 out of 10. I would recommend it though.
Yeah, I'd say I'd give it a 6.
Just normal 6?
Yeah, nothing.
All right.
No.
So that was The Conjuring. Let us know your opinions of The Conjuring by tweeting us at. I haven't made our Twitter, but shoot. Maybe we'll get around to it next episode. Which, by the way, next episode, if you want to watch along with us, is gonna be the movie As Above, So Below, which I have seen, and Boyo has not seen.
I have
so
not.
Look out for that episode next Friday. And on that note, catch you guys next time.
Peace out.